What is up, everyone, and welcome to some more F123 League Racing. We're back in round 9 of the Streamers & Co VRL. There's only 12 rounds in this season, so it's come thick and fast. We're already 3/4 of the way through it. And if you watched the last video, you may remember that it didn't go particularly well. I had a mega crash on the first lap, meaning that I was out for basically the entire race. And I'm hoping that we can recover a little bit better this time around and get ourselves into a good position. We are going to be at the Canadian Grand Prix, and yeah, we will see what we can do as we start our qualifying session now. We're on our first flying lap of Q1. I did do a run before this, but the time got deleted due to track limits. It's a 1:11.8. I would wage to say I'm going to need to improve on that quite a lot if I want to be up there with the big boys at the end of this session. However, on my second flying lap, I do get a slightly better run out of the final chicane, but it doesn't make too much of a difference, unfortunately, as we actually go a little bit slower. It's another 1:11.8, and now we're really on the back foot. We're going to need to get a good lap for the final lap of the session. But as I come into the final sector, once again, you can see I'm down on my time. I just couldn't seem to find improvements this time around, and as we go into the final straight, you can see that I am 0.07 of a second down on my fastest time, and so we're going to need to improve very, very quickly here if we want to have any chance of getting a halfway decent qualifying result here. We go through the final chicane. We actually do get a good run through there this time. It improves us by about 0.4 from where we were up to a 1:11.5. But it's still only good enough for P10, you know. Everyone else was milling around in the sort of 1:11.0s or thereabout. And then we had a few people further afield in the 1:09s, 1:10s, that kind of thing. Here's Dustin. He's the pole sitter at the moment. I'm not sure if he's on a flying lap or not, but we'll keep an eye out and see if anyone else is going to improve. Pretty much everyone who is behind me can't improve now. I'm pretty sure that there was a crash between Ando and Punisher. You can see GG Josh there has improved by a few tenths, and he's jumped me, so he's gone up into P9 and I'm down into P11. Dustin pits, he's not improving, and that is the end of the qualifying session. So you can see it is Dustin who actually takes pole position for a change, despite the fact that Dougie Falcons is actually here today. He's been pipped to pole position, but qualifying has never been Dougie's strong suit. You know, he's been beaten to it a few times in this season of the Streamers & Co VRL, but it's really his sort of strong suit comes in the race when he's able to sort of manage his tyres and that kind of thing over a race distance. So I fully expect him to challenge Dustin for the win at least. But yeah, meanwhile we're going to be starting P11. Our teammate Antoine is going to be starting P6. We'll see if he can get a good result here today. And yeah, looking at the strategy, I do play around with this quite a little bit, and I saw a couple people who they were looking at maybe going on to a set of softs and then a set of either hards or mediums. But I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood to. I wasn't in the mood to try and play around with that kind of thing. So in the end, I just stuck with the initial strategy: 12 laps on the hards, 13 laps on the mediums, and we're going to see what we can do using that. It might not be the best strategy, especially considering there's a very good chance of an early safety car. I was thinking about maybe going onto the softs just for that factor alone, but in the end I stuck with the hards, and we'll see if that proves to be the correct strategy or not. We've got Costa and GG Josh starting ahead of us, so yeah, we'll see what we can do, see if we can maybe make up a position or even a couple of positions off the start. We get ready to go now as the lights come on. And the lights go out, and GG Josh has had a terrible start there, and that is us already up into P10. Costa stuck behind Mint Block, who also didn't have a great start, and that allows us to go through. We get ahead of Costa. Mark's had a bit of a spin there, and so we get ahead of him as well, and that's already 3 positions we've gained. And we're going to try and go around the outside of Mint Block here. He's keeping his foot in meanwhile, though, so we have to be careful. We're going to go around the outside at the following chicane, and we do manage to make the move stick. We go off the track ever so slightly there, but you know, that's fair racing, I would say. We were ahead of him by the time we got to the corner. We had to take evasive action to make sure we weren't going to have a collision with him, and that is us up into P7 in this Canadian Grand Prix. 4 positions gained off the start. Yes, one of them was due to that pretty strange moment coming out from Mark, but you know, I'll take it all in all. I'm pretty happy with that, and we'll see if we can close the gap down to the cars in front now. Antoine, Liam, and all of these guys up ahead. I don't know if I'll be able to stick with Dustin and Dougie and Phil and Ryan, because those guys all seem to have pretty good pace. But that is someone out of the race, Callie, I believe, and yeah, that is the that is the safety car out, deployed, and yeah, we're gonna have to see what we can do once the safety car comes back in. It eventually does start to come back in on lap 3, I believe it is. Once everyone has caught up to it, there's still someone catching it by the looks of things. Williams, I'm not sure which one, but yeah, we're gonna see what we can do off of the safety car restart. As the field is really bunching up here, you can see that it's kind of a bit stop-start at the moment. And yeah, they slow up, and I just completely, I'm not paying attention, and I go straight into the back of Captain Liam and damage my front wing. So we're going to have to box now. They want me to do a 2-stop onto a set of mediums and another set of mediums. I'll see whether that is something I feel like doing or not. But certainly, this has got a hell of a lot more difficult for me all of a sudden, as we're going to be pitting right after a safety car, which means we're going to be very comfortably in last. I think really now what we need is another safety car to bring us back into play, to be honest. So hopefully we get that, because I will be changing my front wing here, and yeah, that's going to take us quite a lot of time. You're going to see what the gap looks like once I come out of the pits. I think it's about 20 seconds to the nearest cars of Mike, Ando, Damo, all of these people. They're all, yeah, about 20 seconds ahead of me by the looks of things, maybe just slightly under 20 seconds. So yeah, we're going to have to really work hard to try and close these guys down if we can. And yeah, that is basically our race ruined already. But you know, a lot can happen in the course of 21 laps, so we'll see. And you can see already people are picking up penalties. Now there's people coming into the pits as well, including Captain Liam. I don't know if he got damaged or what the deal with that was, why he pitted. But yeah, that means that we are going to at least gain one position. And as soon as we go past the pit lane, there is another safety car. And honestly, I'm feeling like the correct strategy here, because this set of mediums is not going to get us to the end. However, another set of mediums might just about go to the end, I would say. So I'm feeling like the play here actually is to go on to that second set of mediums early. We are going to be on them for quite a long time, but if there's another safety car in this race, we can either pit again if we're in a bad position, or we can just go, you know, on that same set of mediums or something like that. So we'll see what we do. But yeah, we come into the pits. They come out very quickly and put the medium tyres on once again. Costa, meanwhile, is out of the race, so that is 14 cars out of the 16 that started still in this race. And yeah, we're going to be in 14th at the moment out of 14 cars. After that pit stop phase, Captain Liam jumps us again. However, you can see that on lap 10, as the safety car comes in, we are right on the back of this train, which means we are right back in this race. And once again, we're doing a safety car restart behind Captain Liam, so hopefully we don't just drive straight into the back of him this time. That would be a shame if that were the case. But yeah, we will see if we can maybe make up a few positions here with a little bit of battery and whatnot. You know, we've had a chance to recharge the entire battery now and stuff like that. I'm feeling pretty good about our chances of making up some positions here, and I hope that we are able to at least maybe get back into the points or something like that, even if it's only a point or two. Mint goes wide there. We have to brake really hard to avoid all of the carnage there. I think Damo went into the wall by the looks of things. Meanwhile, Captain Liam going slowly. I think he got an illegal overtake on Mint blocks. I had to give the position back, and then I had to give the position back to Captain Liam. And then there's a VSC immediately afterwards. So yeah, that is one position gained on Damo there, who is now out of the race as well. So once again, we're in last. Every time I make up a position, it seems like someone DNFs and we're right back in last place. But hopefully not for much longer. You know, the VSC is out, but yeah, once the VSC is over, hopefully we can make up a few of these positions. We're already piling a lot of pressure on Captain Liam here. He's actually got a drive-through penalty, so I'm assuming he was speeding under the VSC. Very unfortunate for him. There's a few drive-throughs up and down the field, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Dougie Falcons at this point had one as well, and also my teammate Antoine for other safety car speeding related offences. So yeah, we're going to make up a few positions here on Antoine and on Liam, and we're going to make our way through and into P11, and now we only need to make up one more spot, and then we are going to be in the points, which is, you know, not something I really expected here. There's another yellow flag. I'm not sure what this is for. We'll find out in just a moment. It seems like there's a few cars ahead going slowly. Ando into the pits as well, so that moves us up into 10th. Mike and Dustin are off there. Not sure what happened there. I think Dustin had some kind of issue, and then he got caught up with Mike after he'd had that issue. So that is devastating for him. The man who was at one point, you know, leading this race, he had the what do you call it, the pole position. He makes his way up into or down into not even in the points anymore, I don't think, or at least P10 if he is. Meanwhile, we're up into P7. We got ahead of Mint Block there, and now we're going to try and pile the pressure on GG Josh if we can. We couldn't quite make the move stick on this occasion. We're going to try and go around the outside of the chicane. We get a much better run through the chicane than he does, though, and we're right on him. However, it seems like he maybe is set up to be a little bit faster in a straight line than we are, because I can't seem to out-drag him on any of these straights. But now we're going to have the battery, and I believe we're going to have the DRS as well. So this is going to be pretty trivial for us, you'd have to say, especially with the slipstream as well. We're going to move to the inside. He doesn't really have much to fight with on this occasion, and we brake super late and go through the chicane, and we make our way up ahead of him and into P6. Dougie Falcon's now serving his drive-through penalty, and when he does, he is still ahead of us, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Meanwhile, Jermaine is actually still ahead of us as well. So, yeah, I don't know if he's pitted yet or not, but if he hasn't, then that will be us up into P5. And, yeah, we'll just try and battle with GG Josh as much as we can. Obviously, he's got that 3-second penalty. But do I think he's going to give one fuck about that? No, I don't, quite frankly, because, you know, we've still got, what, 11 laps left in this race? So at any point, conceivably, I could get a 3-second penalty, and then he's right back in this. He has to fight this like it's for position. I think that's totally fair. You know, at any point, someone could get a penalty. I saw a few people complaining that people were racing them too hard when they had penalties. And I was thinking to myself, like, you know, at any point, you yourself could get a penalty, and then the other driver is right back in it. So it kind of makes sense that they would battle it. It is a little bit annoying, because it means that Dustin was closing me down maybe a little bit faster than he would have been otherwise. But, you know, I think my tyres are slightly more worn than Josh's. And, yeah, I couldn't quite stay with him. I'm going to try and close him down now, go up the inside. But he manages to brake later on the outside. And that means that we are still down in P7. For the time being, we are in 3-second range of both him and Jermaine. So, yeah, things are going pretty well for us at the moment in terms of position. We are legitimately in P5 at the moment, I believe. And actually, there is a car in the pits. It's a McLaren. It's the McLaren of Mark. I guess he hadn't pitted yet. So yeah, he's going to be coming in. And I would not be surprised if he did feature towards the end of the Grand Prix in my race, because he, you know, is obviously going to have a lot better pace than everyone else on those. I don't know what tyres he went onto, but they're going to be very fresh. So I wouldn't be surprised if he closed those down. He's in P9 at the moment. As you can see, GG Josh is just starting to get away from us a little bit. Meanwhile, Dustin is really close to us all of a sudden. This DRS is the only thing that is keeping us ahead of Dustin for the time being. We get another track limits warning there. That is our second of the race, so we do need to be careful not to pick up too many penalties. Otherwise, that is basically going to ruin everything about this race for us. But yeah, we're just getting absolutely reeled in by Dustin Bruins at the moment. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to stay with GG Josh as best I can to get the DRS and that kind of thing. Dustin looks to maybe go for a move there, but he can't quite make it stick on this occasion. And yeah, that means that we are able to stay with GG Josh for another lap. We've still got the DRS. We don't have that much battery. I don't know if Dustin has battery or what the deal is, but it doesn't look like he's closing me down too quickly. So yeah, that's going to be us able to stay for a little bit longer. But we do get an absolutely horrible run through the chicane, and that has allowed Dustin to make the move, and we are back down into P6. But obviously it would be net P5 if we manage to stay within 3 seconds of GG Josh. So yeah, all I can hope is that maybe Dustin battling with Josh holds these guys up a little bit, and that allows us to stay within range of Josh. And who knows, maybe they will even have a moment, and I might be able to get at Dustin as well. Antoine with a 9-second penalty has made his way past, and it looks like he just cut the corner again and also had a bad run through the chicane. So yeah, things really not going too well for him. You can see he's got 12 seconds of penalties now. We're able to get back ahead of him. I wouldn't be surprised if he fought with us a little bit. However, I would say that the chances of me getting 12 seconds worth of penalties in the space of just 5 laps is pretty unlikely, and I think he knows that as well. You know, we would have to be, we'd have to basically cut every single chicane in order to do that. It's not impossible, of course, but it's certainly not particularly likely. So yeah, I think, you know, if he can overtake me with the DRS, he'll do it, but I think otherwise he's probably not going to challenge me that hard, if I had to guess. Maybe he can close down to the cars in front, who knows. Josh still holding behind Dustin for the time being. He's actually doing very well to defend from Dustin, who I think probably has better pace on those tyres. Eventually Dustin does break free, however, oh, actually no, he hasn't yet. You can see that Josh went very wide at that corner. That's brought Antoine back into touch with these guys as well. Meanwhile, they've all kind of broken away from me. I've got no DRS, and what that means is that Mark is now closing me down quite significantly as well. He's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, but he is just so much faster on the straight that he breaks away with the DRS and everything, and that pushes us down into P8 on track. But you've got to remember, there's at least 3 cars ahead of me who all have big penalties right now, so that is going to bode very well for me. If I can just stay with these guys for a few more laps, that's all I have to do. I just have to stay in range of GG Josh, in 3-second range of him for the next few laps, and then we should be completely out of the woods. You can see that once again there's a big battle brewing between these 4. I think everyone wants the position, even though obviously Dustin, as long as he doesn't get that penalty, he will be at the head of this train in P4, and then it will be Josh, Mark and Antoine. Although there's been a collision there and Josh is round. I think maybe Mark hit him by the looks of things, because he slowed down to maybe allow Josh back through, and that has meant that we have gained 2 positions there, and we don't have to worry about Josh anymore. All we've got to do is make sure we stay within 12 seconds of Antoine. Meanwhile, Josh and Ando are both out of the race. I'm not sure what happened there. I think maybe when Josh slowed down, maybe it caused Ando to go into the back of him or something like that, because he wasn't expecting it. And yeah, that is 2 cars, both Red Bulls, out of the race, to make it so there are only 10 cars remaining in this race. I can't remember who else DNF now, apart from the 3 that happened at the start of the race and those 2. I guess there was one more at some point, which I must have forgotten about. But oh, I think it was Mint Block, if I remember correctly. I don't remember how, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he has DNF. So yeah, this is a pretty nailed on P5 for us now, just as long as we can bring it home. Well, anyone who finishes this race is going to score points. Only 10 finishes on this occasion is an absolutely astronomically low number. Almost half the race, half the drivers in the race fail to be classified due to various incidents. There were quite a few penalties handed out at the end of this Grand Prix. Dougie with the victory. I think everyone saw it coming, especially after Dustin had the incidents that he had. I think it was a matter of you know, a formality for Dougie, really. But the rest of the podium, you know, I think we'll be pretty happy. I think it was Ryan and then Phil, and then Dustin came home in P4. It's going to be Antoine crossing the line, P5. Mark is actually also going to pip us to the line, but with the penalties applied to the both of them, I'm going to take P5. And, well, considering we were at the back of the grid at the end of lap 3, I will happily take a P5 in that race. You know, it's 10 points for the championship. We do fall down to, I think, 5th in the championship now. But we do get driver of the day for our efforts, at least. And hopefully we will we'll be able to bounce back even stronger in the next race. So it is Dougie on top on this occasion. And then it is Ryan in P2 and Phil in P3. A bit frustrating for me, even though we did get P5 there, to think that well, maybe if I hadn't have had all those incidents, perhaps it could have been P4 instead. I think Ryan and Phil had a little bit too much pace for me on this occasion, but given how much Josh was battling Dustin, I think he would have been able to keep him behind for long enough that that Dustin would not have closed me down as well. But you know, we can do if buts and maybes this whole time. It's frustrating because obviously I'm in a championship battle, particularly with Ryan and Phil. I think that P3 position could conceivably go to just about anyone. You know, the gap between 2nd place in the championship and 7th place in the championship is 14 points, I believe, and we are right in the mix. So yeah, that is the final classification. It was Dougie from Ryan, from Phil, from Dustin, from me, from Jermaine. I think Mark got a post-race penalty, which promoted Antoine up to P7. Then it was Mark, then it was Liam, and then Mike gets his first points on the board, and also William's first points on the board. So yeah, a pretty good race, but a bit of a dirty one as well. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.